Welcome to Wheel of Wisdom, a place where the right message finds you. So, in a moment, I'm going to share with you guys our Wheel of Wisdom. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome. Welcome to the space. So happy that you could join us for the practice. For those of you who just joined us, we did an emotional check in practice in which we kind of imagined our inner world or our feelings to be more precise as weather and noticed what is the weather today. So now let me show you guys our wheel of wisdom. Prabhat says, thank you very much and heartfelt gratitude to you. Thank you, Prabhat, for receiving this practice with such openness. Appreciate it. Okay, so my dear ones, this is our wheel of wisdom. And as you can see, this wheel contains the name of 50 plus books that I have read over the past 10 years of my life. And now, before we spin the wheel, I invite you to take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need guidance on today? And see if something specific emerges for you. So, if it does, hold that in your mind or your heart as we spin the wheel. Oh, okay. So, the book that came up first is The Pocket Pema Chödrön. So, she is a very famous spiritual teacher, and this is like a collection of all her teachings or most of her teachings. So give me a second to open this, and this is her, the author. So this is a very short collection of her teachings. And now let me choose some numbers so that we can play a game together and receive the message that we need to hear most today. So, my dear ones, the instructions for those who are new are that in a moment I'm going to share with you guys, you know, few numbers between which I want you guys to choose and just see whatever number first pops up in your head, share it in the comments. I will go through all your comments and pick a number that my, intuition feels most called towards. So, and there is no rush, just take your time and see which number pops up for you between 10 and 113. So share a number that pops up in your head between 10 to 113. Oh, okay. Thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Robin. Anyone else who would like to share a number and receive a message from the universe? Okay. Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Prabhat. Okay, so seems like everyone who wanted to share a number has done so. So yeah, let me see which number am I feeling most called to. Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 57 by Doug. So let's see what wants to come through this page. So I'm going to open this page and read the highlighted section because as I was reading these books, I highlighted the insightful paragraphs or transformative exercises from these books. Mhm. Interesting. So the title is The Daring of Having No Enemies. So the author says whether it's ourselves, our lovers, bosses, children, or the political situation, it's more daring and real not to shut anyone out of our hearts and not to make the other into an enemy. If we begin to live like this, we will find that we actually can't make things completely right or completely wrong anymore because things are a lot more slippery and playful than that. Everything is ambiguous, everything is always shifting and changing, and there are as many different takes on any given situation as there are people involved. Trying to find absolute rights and wrongs is a trick we play on ourselves to feel secure and comfortable. So, yeah, that was our reading. So, if you are holding anger towards anyone else, resentment, maybe the universe is inviting you to open your heart and to also remember that there is no absolute right or wrong. It's just different version of reality that each of us have, and we think that our version is the right one, but there is no right version. It's all just a perception, and no one can, our human brains have been designed in a way so that we don't take in 100% of the information all the time because it is going to be overwhelming for our brain to have so much information to process. So we always filter out that information that is not aligned with our beliefs, and we think that we got a full picture. But if you pause and take another look at your situation, whatever that situation is, even if it doesn't involve anger, or even if you are not thinking of your enemy, you know any situation that is causing you distress, if you just pause and take a look back at it again and ask yourself that what is another way of seeing this, what else might be true, apart from what you are believing about it, apart from how you are perceiving that situation. Then, if you took that conscious effort to do that, you might realize that yes, there might be this other way of looking into this as well. And if you do this more often, you would realize that whatever your mind tells you, the stories, they are just mind made. They are just fictional stories, like how there is like a disclaimer, before we watch like any movie. It's like, all the characters and everything are fictional, and any resemblance to, real life is just mere coincidence and stuff like that. So just our mind is telling us, all these fictional stories. And it's our job to remember that they are just stories, not the absolute truth. Because sometimes we can get too rigid about what we believe, what we think is right or wrong, and then that leads to a lot of conflicts in at individual level and at systemic, larger group level as well. So yeah, so that is what came up for me from that. And if you find it difficult to do this, to think about, to question your thoughts, to be able to see things differently than your mind has initially seen them, Then I want to share a small resource for you. So in this course that I've shared here, which is transform your negative thoughts and master healthy thinking, I've shared different ways in which you can learn to challenge your thoughts so that you don't believe the first thing that your mind throws your way. So this is going to help you understand that thoughts are just thoughts, just mental events, not the absolute truth. And you are not always right, and you're not always wrong too. So it's just all about perception, right? So maybe going with the perception that is helpful for you and for other people that, benefits all parties involved. So yeah, that was our first reading. Let me know, Doug, if it resonated with you at all, or if something is coming up for you from this reading. And for anyone else also, if it resonated, or if you have a reflection that you want to share, you can do that in the comments. Mhm. Now, let us move on to our second book. So, again, if you have a question, if you need guidance on something specific, bring that to your mind, to your heart, to your awareness as we spin the wheel. Okay, so the book that came up is Mindfulness for Beginners by Lara Hoshizer. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Okay, I'm going to just open the book and then I will read your comment. Doug says, good reminder that everyone's perspective is valid and we should respect their journeys and views always. Yeah, I align with that, respecting their journeys part. When it comes to views, opinions, thoughts, I feel like it's sometimes harder for everyone to respect other views if they are too you know um, misaligned with your values. But yeah, you can respect them as a person that they are on their journeys, that they are trying their best as a human being, and they are they are who they are, right? So we can remember all of those things, and we can remember at those moments when we get frustrated by someone, that that there are I'm not perfect, and neither are they. I have things that might irritate someone else. I have my quirks, I have my weaknesses, I have all of that, and so they too. So we can respect them as a person, that yeah, they are trying their best and they are doing what with best with what they have got, what they have learned. And you can wish them something, send them loving kindness wishes as well, so that hoping that their journey would take them closer to their highest self, and whatever it is, the wish that comes up for you in those moments. So yeah, I just wanted to add that, and I love that you resonated with this reminder, Doug. And yeah, we sometimes we know all of these things, but it's just we need a reminder now and then, especially at those right moments when we are in that situation, right? Okay, let me first skip to Doug's another comment and then I will read the rest of the ones. Doug says, that's true. Not agree with the views always, but see how they came to be from that view, sort of. Yeah, okay. Thank you for adding to that. And yes, okay, now that makes perfect sense. Yeah, understanding that they have learned to view these things in this way because of something that has happened to them that they have seen. So yeah, I love that. Thank you so much for adding more, richness to your reflection, Doug. And Robin agrees with Doug 100%. And so do I. Patrick says, "Hello, Nisha and friends. Sorry I'm late. I'm a tad late to the party. No problem. You are almost on time. We were just going to, open our second book. So I hope that you received the message that you need today, Patrick. And welcome." Robin says, "Radical awareness instead of radical acceptance." A different word, huh? Mm, I guess awareness leading to radical acceptance instead of those. Okay, instead of radical awareness leading to radical acceptance. That might be a more resonating version for me. Okay, so this is our second book, Mindfulness for Beginners in 10 minutes a day. So it and there is a subtitle which says Mindful Moments to Bring Clarity and Calm to Your Morning, Day, and Night. Patrick says, "It's hard for me to visualize you being mad or angry because you have such a calming demeanor." I am sometimes, I can assure you, because I'm a, human being like you. So yeah, I am. Hmm. But yeah, sometimes I'm like more passive aggressive, I think. So yeah, I can lean into that direction, which is also not healthy. So yeah, working on that as well. Okay. uh so choosing some numbers. Okay. Patrick too. Huh. So we are passive aggressive buddies. Okay. So choosing numbers. Give me a second. Interesting. Again, this number came up. So, my dear ones, I invite you to pick a number between 23 to 113. So, yeah, see which number pops up for you between 23 to 113. And I will pick a number randomly. So, yeah, there is no need to rush. Thank you for all the love. I appreciate it. Oh, 444. I got 444 hearts. It like stopped at there. Oh, I love it. I'm seeing a lot of 444s. Okay, thank you, Robin. Thank you, Prabhat. Yay. Anyone else who wants to share a number and receive a message, a reminder from the universe? Hi, Beverly. Welcome. And you are just in time. I just invited people to pick a number from our second book. Okay, Beverly has chosen a number. Thank you. And welcome back to the space. It's nice to have you. Okay, anyone else who wants to pick a number? Otherwise, we can go with these. Okay. So, thank you, Patrick, for choosing a number as well. Mhm. So the number that I am feeling called to is 75, chosen by Patrick. Huh. See, Patrick, you were also just in time. Okay. So, what wants to come through from page number 75? Hmm. Okay, this can be a very useful practice for all of us. So, the practice is moving in your chair because these days we are sitting a lot. So, yeah. Okay. And if you are sitting right now, like me, you can do this, simultaneously as I'm reading the instructions for you guys. So, take a mindful seat in your chair. Okay, so Beverly, you were also just in time, both of you. You said you are late and now you got the right practice. Okay, so take a mindful seat in your chair. So get up and sit back down mindfully, meaning with awareness. Remember to keep your spine straight and away from the back of the chair. So don't tilt back, keeping it straight, stay straight, not too stiff, just straight. You can also roll your shoulders back. It automatically straightens your, posture. You can just open your, chest so that it's more straight. And now place your right ankle over your left thigh. Okay. Feel into your right hip. So, if you want, you can flex your toes as well so that you can feel your right hip. And now repeat the same posture with the other side. So, you can place your left ankle on your right thigh, and you can feel the stretch in your left hip. So this is just a little bit of stretch, becoming mindful of the feelings in your hips as you do this. And then you can gently put your feet down. And now you can try, you know, moving your shoulders. So there are different practices, but I'm feeling called to guide a different one. So I invite you to place your hands on your shoulders like this, and then you can bring your, elbows close. Okay, and then you can slowly, lift your elbows upwards, you know, and moving it all the way up. Or you can just keep it lower if you have pain and just notice, the stretch in your upper arms in this region. And you can slowly move it back and notice the sensations in your upper back, in your shoulders blades. And then you can, release your elbows down and lower your hands. And if you want, you can repeat it 2 more times. So this will help straighten your posture, opening your chest, opening your heart as well. and you will get a very nice stretch in your like upper body. We got a stretch in our lower bodies with, the thighs and with our hips and everything. And now we got a stretch with our, upper body. And then the third stretch that you can do is like you can, move your neck. Like you can move it in circular motions, or you can move it like moving your ear close to your shoulders. So, like right ear close to your right shoulder, feeling the stretch here. If you want, you can place this hand down, touching the surface or hanging in the air if you're sitting on a chair. And then you can move it to neutral and then gently move the left ear towards your left shoulder and feeling the stretch here. And then bringing it to neutral. And you can always like pair your breath with it. So, like with the shoulders, when you're moving up, you inhale. When you're moving down, you exhale. And similarly, you can do with the neck, you inhale. And when you're tilting, you exhale. And then you inhale again. And then you exhale. So, this covers like all the three areas of our body. And there are like multiple stretches, but this one came up. And the important thing here is, of course, the stretches, like your body moves, which it hasn't been. And it is said like we need to move our body in like 30 minutes or 1 hour, Even if it's just these little stretches, you don't need to get up if you can't. You can just do these little stretches, and also you can give some rest to your eyes. And that can be as simple as, instead of looking at your phone or laptop, you can just take 5 seconds to look far away in the farthest distance, like in the farthest left in the farthest right that you can see, in the farthest left that you can see. And then you can repeat it. If you did it to the top farthest points, then you can look at the down farthest points. And that's it. This way, your whole body gets a little bit of reset when you have been working a lot, sitting down on the laptop or your phone or any of the devices that you have. So, yeah, that was the practice. And, when you're doing all of these, you just take a notice of your body. So, instead of doing this, you learn the exercise and then you just do it quickly and then move on to the next task. But that's not the invitation. The invitation is to reconnect with your body. You're giving your body a break. You're inviting some movement, but you're also being aware of it. So when you were moving, your neck, you were aware of the sensations. Your awareness was in your body. Like, what is this part of me feeling? How does doing this, it affects my body. And similarly, when you are looking up, you can notice, the muscles around your eyes, how are they feeling, doing this, and how are you feeling after doing this. So when you invite mindfulness, when you bring mindfulness to any of the movements that you do, it just increases the benefits of it multifolds. Like, it doubles the benefits of it, because now it has also become a practice to settle your mind and not just, wake up your body in a way. So yeah, that was kind of our reading. Um, because I just, guided something, whatever was coming up for me, because other practices were for like shoulder and chest opening and stuff like that. So it was the same. So I went with that. So now, now that we have spent a few moments listening to me talking or doing this, maybe you were doing this side by side. Now the invitation is to decide, like, how are you going to remember to do this? Because right now we are talking about it and you might do it maybe in the next hour. That is also a long hope. Maybe you did it right now and then you will forget about it. So how will you remember to move your body every 30 minutes or after 1 hour? and, do some mindful stretches. So that is the invitation. Like, are you going to set some alarm? Do you want to place a post-it note on your laptop or around your workplace? Um, and or do you want to, ask someone else to remind you every now and then that, do this exercise or do this? So how can you do it? Okay, Beverly is going to schedule it with a notification on my phone. Perfect, perfect. Yeah, and maybe you can do it right now. Like you can pause this, like you can, you know, leave the live or you can play it in the background and just, do it. Set the alarm right now because you're going to forget to do it later on. Like not you specifically, Beverly, but like we forget to do that. We say that we are going to do this and then we forget. So maybe this way it would increase the chance that you would do it at least once when that notification hits. So yeah, and I'm so glad to see your willingness to, receive this message that is coming, in the space and to act on it. That is a very, very major component of, changing our lives for the better, to receive the message, to be open to it, and then to act on it. So yeah, good job, Beverly. Good job. And for me, I'm going to, since I, work from my home, so I'm going to ask my mom to remind me, and she is definitely going to remind me to move my body. So yeah, that is going to be, a way that I remember to do it. Okay. So that was our second reading. Let me know, Patrick, if this resonated with you at all, if you needed this reminder, or, if you already do this, then how does it impact you? You can notice that on the day that you do practice this, did it impacted you in any way? And that might encourage you more to do this more. Or if it is not working for you, then you can drop it after, trying it for a while and pick up something else that does work for you. Patrick says, mindful movements have been a regular routine that I have acquired throughout my day. Oh, I love that. I love that, Patrick. So yeah, maybe you can share, like why did you ended up doing it every day? Like how does that make you feel? How does it make any difference in uh, you know, um, towards your productivity, towards your mood? So if you want to share anything, you can do that. This might encourage other people to do it as well. And thank you for asking about my mother. She is doing well now. She is recovering well. Like, of course, she is not 100% recovered, but yeah, like no more complications have been there since the last few weeks, which I'm so, so, so grateful for. So, yeah, thank you for asking and for your prayers, everyone. David says, hi. Hi, David. I'm running very late again today, and I'm in a cafe at the moment, so my signal isn't good, but I made it here. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you for, making time to be here despite all these obstacles, despite being in a different space, despite the signal thing. So I so appreciate it. And it's okay, you are on time. Um, I was thinking that, should we do another reading or not? But yeah, let's do one more for David. And for everyone else also who just joined. Beverly says, done, scheduled. Yay, Beverly. So proud of Beverly. Yay. Ah, and I hope, Beverly, that, maybe you end up, making it a part of your regular routine, just like Patrick. Beverly says, great to hear about your mother. Prayers continue. Thank you, Beverly. That is so sweet. Thank you so much. And yeah, I'm so happy to see, her doing well now, finally. David says, I start every day with mindful movements and some gentle yoga. Oh, lovely. Yeah, I love like the first time when I did a mindfulness mindful yoga, that is actually a thing which I didn't knew before. I was like, wow, I never like experienced my body like that. I used to exercise, but I wasn't aware of the, you know how it is affecting my body in that moment. So that was like, and it was so relaxing as well. And yeah, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So yeah, thank you, David, for sharing that. And hmm, I hope that, this inspires others to give it a try as well. Patrick says, that's good to hear. Yeah, my daily routine, especially the moments where I feel a bit stressed, sorry, it releases the physical tension and the mental tension as well. Hmm. A lovely way to incorporate this. Another moment in which we can incorporate this, like when we are feeling stressed, we can move our body because there is so much energy. Or if you are feeling like more, hyper aroused, or in that case there is a lot of energy, anxiety, anger, all of those emotions are from that state. So it releases all that, tension. And it also awakens your body if you're feeling hypo aroused, meaning if you're feeling towards like more of a sad, numb state, then it can gently arouse your body if you do some gentle movements. So thank you, Patrick, for like sharing this beautiful, beautiful way in which you incorporate this. Okay. Hmm. Hi, Vijay. Welcome. Welcome to the space. So, we were just about to do our third reading. And before that, I just felt, like, should I share about the resources that I have regarding, that regulation, or should I not? And I'm like, let me just tell you in case you need it. So if you want to learn like more ways to regulate your nervous system, whether it is like hyper arousal when you're feeling anxious, angry, all of those, a lot of energy in your body, and especially towards the unpleasant end. And similarly, if you're feeling very low on energy, and disconnected, then you can um, check out a playlist that I have, which is called Nervous System Regulation Techniques. So you'll find it on the homepage when you scroll down. So, yeah, there is a playlist called Nervous System Regulation Techniques, and I have a lot of practices here already, and I'm going to add more. And I have like recorded some movement based practices as well here. Right now, I've added just breath work practices, but I'm going to add more movement practices as well to this. So, yeah, in case you want to save this, you can do that so that when they are out, you will have them in one place. Um, Patrick says it makes the potential energy change to kinetic energy, which releases the energy that was once stored or built up. Love the explanation. Thank you, Patrick. Thank you so much for sharing that. Beverly says the pause for movement was greatly welcomed, especially since I have had a flare up of sciatica. Has had started yoga daily, but it's twice daily, as so immensely beneficial. Thank you so much. Oh, Beverly, I'm sending you so much healing energy. I hope that, all, the bones in your body feel bathed in this, healing, warm light, and that all the pain in your body is soaked by Mother Earth. And I'm glad that, you're adopting a lot of practices, moving your body to help your body in the healing process, in, Like you're taking care of it. That's lovely. Patrick says it's definitely a healthy practice to get into. Definitely, I agree 100%. Okay, so now I'm going to take a sip of water and then we will do our final reading for today. Oh, Beverly. I love that how you don't let the pain, stop you from living your life. Yeah, it definitely makes it harder, but you are not pushing through, but you're not letting it affect you. You're taking care of it, by including more practices, and at the same time, you're not letting it become the focus of your life. So yeah, I love that, Beverly. You are so amazing. I think, yeah, I think I created like I released a free meditation recently, which was a mindfulness of pain and physical illness. In fact, like have a whole like a body based, meditation series. Um, so if you want, you can like give it a try to see if you find it helpful in some way. So it's like so it's you will find it in the playlist section. You will find it under Wheel of Wisdom. So there are a lot of practices, and it's like the initial, you will find it in the initial practices only. It's like for every body part, I have created a practice. Or you can also do a chakra practice for the nearby chakra in that reason as well. So yeah, you can check it out if you feel called. Okay, you're welcome, Beverly. You're welcome. And I just wish you more ease. Okay, so let us move on to a final reading. So, again, bring to your mind anything you need guidance on as we spin the wheel. Oh. So, the book that came up is The Art of Stopping Time by Pedram Sujai. So, guys, let's learn how to stop time. Okay, so give me a second to open the book. Hmm. So this is our book, The Art of Stopping Time. And now let me pick some numbers for our game. So, my dear ones, I invite you to pick a number between 15 to 206. Patrick says, I have 3 or 4 ruptured discs in my lower back, but I also keep doing that, which I know to do. And with my mindful movement practices, those discs have been slowly improving. Oh, Patrick, I am happy to hear about the progress and about, your consistency with these practices, your strength to go on. That is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm sending, a lot of healing your way as well. And just when I sent you healing, I saw like a 44 again, like 44 people have joined the space. So yeah, I'm seeing this as a sign from the universe that, the energy has been sent in the right direction and it has been received by your body. Okay, so yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so Patrick. So Patrick has chosen the number 44. Beverly says, marvelous, Patrick. Continued blessings on your healing journey. Love your number, Patrick. Anyone else who wants to pick a number? Otherwise, we can go with this number as well. Thank you, David. Anyone else? Beverly says, I'm always I'm always saying 44 last just now and previously 14 44. Ha, interesting. Okay. Hmm. Patrick says we all should choose 44. Patrick is putting, asking people to be on his side. Hmm. Okay. Doug says, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you, Prabhat. Hmm. Thank you, David, for this kind donation. Thank you so much. I so appreciate you supporting my work. Thank you for allowing me to continue to do this. Okay, let's see. Mhm. Which number am I feeling most called to? Mhm. Patrick, can you choose a number between 15 to 206? Uh, so do you want me to go with 44 or do you want to like share another number or both numbers, two numbers from you? Let me know. Okay, okay, got it. No issues, no issues. Oh, you're welcome, David. Let's see. Which number? Which number? Okay, so the number that I'm feeling. Okay, thank you, Patrick, for sharing another number. Okay, I will consider this one as well. Give me a second. Mm, Okay, so the number that I'm feeling most called to is 75, and the number has been chosen by David for all of us. Thank you, David. Okay, so let's see what's on page number 75. Mhm. So the message here is listening to noise. David says my iPad has stopped working. So I am on my phone now, but I've lost the comments. I'm still here. Okay, thank you, David, for letting us know that. And yeah, I will read out the comments so that won't be an issue. And yeah, we just chose your number, David, which is 75. And now I'm going to read from that. Patrick says, that was my number last reading. Awesome. Ha. So Patrick is going to receive a message no matter whose number we choose. Amazing. No, I'm really happy about the alignment, Patrick. I am. Thank you so much, for sharing that. I love, how it is resonating with you in that way. Beverly says it was. Huh. Okay. Amazing. Okay, give me a second. There's something cooking in the kitchen. So, okay. Now, the message for you, David, Patrick, and anyone else who, needed to hear this is listening to noise. We live in a world that bombards us with sound. It's everywhere. And we have grown accustomed to noise pollution in our daily lives. So, so true. In fact, right now there is a construction going on, but the sound is very low. Back in the day, we would listen to the sound of the animals. This was a vast communication channel that informed us of the location of both predators and our next meal. So, talking about the Stone Age, kind of. Today, aside from a screeching car tire or ambulance sounds, there isn't much useful information in all the noise around us. It does, however, still impacts us. Our brain register it, and somewhere deep inside, we have to process, is this safe? This is exhausting after some time. Why? Because sound is frequency based. It flows in waves and at different velocities, and these hit us and impact us, whether we consciously feel them or not. After all, we are over 60% water. Imagine how those waves would ripple around every cell of your body. Yes, you are, Patrick. Yes, you are. Yes, yes, I was coughing, so I was, explaining like there is like something going on in the kitchen, and I don't know what it's called in English, but like, there's like a someone put a tadka. I don't know what to say, what to call it in English, but yeah. So yeah, there is like all this fumes from that that is hitting me, and it was making me cough. But yeah, you are invited. You are so invited, all of you. Huh. Okay. Um, yes, I was saying. So we were talking about listening to noise. Mm, hmm. Okay, where was I? So yeah, time is also frequency based. It is rhythmic. How do you think the constant bombardment of your senses by these sound waves would affect your perception of time? Would it agitate it? Would it speed it up? Slow it down? It all depends on the symphony of sounds you are in and your recognition of it. It's like time soup. Next time you are in a public area today, simply stop and listen to the ambient noise all around you. Is it comforting, or is your body somehow telling you, get me out of here? Kids can't filter the noise, and you will notice how a small child will get agitated in a crazy, hectic place. The noise is unsettling. We adults, well, we have developed layers of psychological defenses. We cope and stay put. But why? How is the noise agitating your mind and shifting your ability to relax into time? Stop to feel this today. Take a few seconds to take in the sounds all around you. Do this several times today and just feel what's going on inside you. If you determine that some noise is disruptive, you can leave, ask people to shut up, get noise cancellation headphones, or play your own music to superimpose a frequency pattern and override it. The moral of the story is to not stand there and take it on the chin. Nobody is strong enough to go unscathed in noise pollution. It's just a matter of when and how you crack. So, so whenever you do this practice, yeah, I was like, okay, telling people to shut up might be too much sometimes, like strangers. But yeah, so reflecting whenever you do this practice is, does this make me feel good or bad? So, like, take a pause. You can do this right now. Take a pause and notice the sounds around you. And now ask yourself, does this make me feel good or bad? Is it unsettling or nourishing? Can I relax deeply in here, or are there arrows flying at me? So, yeah, that's it, you know. So, what I noticed was like there is, okay, Belle says my husband is snoring, not sure. So yeah, maybe notice like is the snore more relaxing? Like is there a rhythmic pattern to it? You can practice mindfulness of snoring, you know? Like and I actually did that, okay? So like when I was like sleeping with my parents and one of my parents snore, I was like, okay, instead of letting it, irritate me, I just used it as a rhythm. Like there is this white noise, brown noise, pink noise, stuff like that. So so right now also there is like a fan going. So there were two noises that I noticed. One was the sound of the fan, and the other one was like something in the kitchen. So I noticed the sound of the fan was like, it was helping me relax in a way. And the one in the kitchen was like someone is throwing arrows at me. Neeta says my dog is snoring, not so relaxing. So yeah, now the invitation is now that you have become aware of that, or you see people, you are hearing people talking, and that is irritating you. So you just notice the effect that is happening, that it is having on your mood, whether it is making you feel good or it is helping you relax, or whether it is like irritating you a lot. So if you can move away from that source of sound or try to block it in some way, because you know it was irritating you before. It was a load on your system before as well. You were just not aware of it, and now you have become aware of it. And now that we have become aware of it, we can change it, we can do something about it, so that our body doesn't have to um feel all of that irritation unnecessarily. It doesn't have to carry that extra burden of emotions that it is evoking within us. It doesn't have to, um, keep on checking whether it is safe now, whether it is safe now, because our body is always, in the background running this check about our environment, that is this safe for me? Is this threatening? Is this safe? you know and if that sound is causing you distress, it might be going towards this unsafe category, not life threatening, but this unsafe category, this, like your system feels like it cannot settle. So, if you can, you can move away from the source. If you can't, you can simply, notice that how it affects your body. Like, does your muscles in your head get tightened or stiff? Are they holding tension? And then you can consciously allow them to relax. You can send them a signal that it's okay to relax. So this way you can have that control, not control, but like an influence on your body. So, yeah, that's what came up for me. And let's see. Seems like, okay, Beverly might be laughing either at that people shutting up comment or maybe on Patrick's. Don't know which one, but I'm glad that you laughed. Hi, Cassandra. Good morning. It's nice to have you here. Cassandra says, yes, telling people shut up. Yeah, maybe do that sometimes. That's okay. In a nice, polite way. Ah, okay. Okay, at shutting up comment. Okay. Yeah, so whatever you can do to bring some ease to your body and not a lot of hurt to other people as well. Oh, Nita, I hope if it does work, only if it worked. Only if Cassandra says impossible with a toddler, but I get what you're saying, lol. Yeah, they are much more aware of the sounds and they know what is affecting their body. It's just they don't know how to regulate, but you as an adult knows how to regulate. Or if you don't, I already shared the resources that you can use to regulate yourself, to send a signal to your body that it's okay, it's safe, there's nothing harmful, there's nothing to be tensed about, right now. So, yeah, Beverly says, I found that practice quite relaxing with first silence and then passing cars. And then the house phone rang, which startled me. I could unplug it until we are done. Ah, thank you, Beverly, for sharing, your exact experience that happened in that. And yeah, I find this practice like a very nice way to come back to the present moment as well, so that you reconnect with what is happening around you. And sometimes it's calming, and sometimes, it just makes you more aware of what uh, chaos is happening around you. And there's nothing wrong about it. You now become aware, so you can do something about it. So, yeah, that way is also it's helpful. Okay, and before I move on to the next comment, I have like a little practice around this, which hearing is just one aspect of it. So if you want, you can give this practice a try. And it is also one way, a beautiful way to regulate yourself, to come back to the present moment as well. David says, oh, this is just perfect. Thank you. I'm always hearing and recording sounds that I can use for my music tracks. One of my songs features our washing machine. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I can definitely relate to that, before even like reading the rest of the comment. Because based on what we do, we are like super aware of that thing, especially, So, so, like, if you are like an architect, everywhere you go, you will see like, all of those designs, or like you will appreciate the buildings more compared to any other normal person. So, yeah, I definitely get that. David says, I'm very sensitive to irritating noises, though, so I have been able to do just this and work around them if I can. Usually by using my headphones and blocking them out with some music that is loud enough to block them. Love that, David. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm glad that you're already applying one of the suggestions that, the author shared, and you are, you know, accepting and taking care of, your sensitivity to sound, and which is a very good thing as well. You are able to like notice more of, you know, experience more from this sense, and sometimes it can also become difficult for which you're using headphones, right? And yeah, like, and if you don't want like loud sounds, you can also use like all these noises, like white noise and stuff like that. That might also help without having to increase the loudness, which might be like kind of harsh on ears. So just another thing that popped up, if you are not already, or if you can give it a try if it works. If not, leave it. Just something that came up. David says, I find that being neurodivergent and having hypersensitive ears make life far more interesting, but often challenging. Yeah, like the benefits, like you get to have a more rich experience of your life, but yeah, at the same time, I don't want so much of all of this. So yeah, I hope that more pleasant sounds come your way, like nature sounds. And since morning I have been hearing a lot of like bird sounds. So I mentioned that there is construction going on. So that was, the unpleasant sound in my surroundings right now. But there's also very pleasant sound. I have been hearing a lot of birds today since morning. So yeah, I love that. So yeah, maybe focusing more on those sounds, like maybe hyper focusing on them, like using your all of those I don't know what to call them, like qualities or like abilities uh to bring to towards what is more helpful for you. So yeah. Beverly says, I have a similar approach to energy in spaces. If it affects me negatively, I leave and have done the above practices. Your track, which is a friend taught me when I was having flashbacks of a traumatic experience. Thank you, Beverly, for sharing that how you cope with, when you sense like, the energy as well, like just the sounds, just replacing it with energy. So yeah, that's amazing that you become aware of it, and then you take a step to change, to do what is helpful. And and yeah, I'm glad that it was helpful, this practice. I This is like one of my favorite practices. And yeah, it just brings you to the present moment. It makes you realize that whatever, memory, yeah, that you're having, this image in your head is in like, it is taking you towards the past, even in some fragmented ways, you know. And right now you are here, and this practices can help you stay here for a while, notice that it is safe where you are right now. You are not there, you are here. So this practice is also like a wonderful tool for that. So thank you, Beverly, for sharing, what it helped you with. And I hope, if anyone else also experiences flashbacks, then they might, give this a try, or give some other tool a try that might help them stay here in the present moment and feel more safe in this moment. So I guess, guys, we are way over time. So yeah, now I have to wrap this live. If you know So yeah, I guess that's it for this live. If you enjoyed the space, and if you want to support me, continue doing what I love, you can make a small donation towards that. And if you can't do that, you can always just listen to my content. That is another wonderful way to support me. Beverly says you're most welcome. Okay, so yeah, and if you want to check out more of my offerings, you can go to my profile and you can check out the playlist section. I have like 5 playlists there. Or you can check out the courses section as well. I have like 7 courses. So yeah, like around overcoming negative thoughts, mindfulness, um, and what should I say, different therapy tools. So yeah, stuff like that. So you can check them out if you feel called to do that. And I loved having each and every one of you in this space today. And I hope to see you again on, in my next live, which is day after tomorrow at the same time. So I hope to see you guys there as well. Thank you so much for spending your precious, precious time with me. I bow down to the divine within you all. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you heal from any physical or emotional suffering. May you find ease and peace in your life. David says, thank you, Anisha. I really appreciate all your help and support. And so do I appreciate your presence, your support, your love, your, reflection, everything that you bring to the space, David. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. And yeah, thank you, Nita. Thank you, Beverly. Beverly says, Anisha, I'm deeply grateful. Thank you so much. So am I to have you here. It was lovely having you. Thank you, Prabhat, for staying till the end. I appreciate it. Patrick says, thank you, Anisha. You're wonderful. Oh, and so are you, Patrick. Thank you so much for staying till the end. Hi, Belle. Thank you, dear, for staying till the end. Bye bye. I will see you guys soon, day after tomorrow.